4 Learning Models by Lisa Haas. The first of the 4 models is the face-to-face learning. But what is this? In the face-to-face learning environment, there's no online technology used at all. Content is delivered in writing and orally by the teacher. Now, what are some of the benefits and drawbacks to the face-to-face learning? Well, teachers can rely heavily on eye contact and student expressions to help them gauge whether or not students are comprehending what's being taught in the class. In addition, teaching can be spontaneous based on student responses. If there's a student who has a question that can guide the lesson in a different direction, you're able to make that change on the spot. Also, when using the 4 traditional traditions of teaching, that includes the artistic, craft, moral, and science, they can be used interchangeably and quite easily. And this is according to Michelle Protula. One of the drawbacks to face-to-face learning is that there's little flexibility. Classes are predetermined when they will meet, what they will include, and that is unlikely to change. And also, if there's a student who misses class, this can cause the student a lot of anxiety. They missed a lot of work. They may want to drop the class or not complete the assignments, basically taking on the approach of what's the point of doing it. Lastly, as far as the face-to-face learning goes, who are the learners? Well, really, learners of all ages can benefit from face-to-face learning, but typically K-12 students and most post-secondary students. As far as how this is delivered, instructors need to assess student learning and make adjustments based on the student learning needs. And in the classroom, the learning is multi-sensory. So you're seeing the text written on a handout, you're looking at an overhead projector of material, you're hearing the professor speak about it, so you're getting all of those sensories met. Next is the web-facilitated learning, and this is using web-based technology to facilitate face-to-face courses. You're using a course management system or web pages where you might post a syllabus and assignments, and this accounts for approximately 1 to 29% of the content being delivered online. Some of the benefits to web-facilitated learning are more authentic resources can be made available on the web to support the face-to-face learning environment. Clearly I missed that one. I apologize for that. Another benefit is having some web-based documents on a website. If this can be considered a fallback option for students who do miss class for whatever work, or if they're missing an assignment, they can easily go back to the teacher's web page and print out another copy of the assignment or get any lectures that have been recorded. They can listen to those. And one of the drawbacks is that students or instructors are not necessarily taking full advantage of what the internet has and its capabilities for the classroom. Who would benefit from a web-facilitated learning? Basically all students, K through 12. I think once you get into the post-secondary level, you're looking at students benefiting more from a face-to-face environment or a completely online learning at that point. Teachers will again use websites for posting information, copies of handouts for students, and that's how the web-facilitated learning would happen. Also, you would use the internet for learning from based activities. So this would be gathering information, doing basic research to help along the content that you are learning in a face-to-face environment. The next one in the learning models is the blended learning. And blended learning is a combination of face-to-face and online learning. So basically, it combines the best features of traditional school with the advantages of online learning to deliver personalized, differentiated instruction across a group of learners. It falls into 4 models. You have the rotation, flex, a la carte, and enriched virtual models. And a large portion of the content is delivered online, usually with online discussions and some face-to-face meetings. And this equates to about 30% to 79% of the content being delivered online. What are some of the benefits? Well, students are motivated to explore topics on their own, and this allows them to develop better critical thinking skills. Learners become self-directed and develop lifelong learning skills. There's more flexibility. For more complicated topics, you can deliver that content in the face-to-face environment, and then some of the easier topics you can deliver online. And also you can determine how and when the online portions would be occurring. Some of the drawbacks are that students might not be ready for a blended learning environment. They might not have the time management skills or the technology skills needed to be successful in this situation. And in some regards, this could be more work for teachers because they need to find the right balance between the face-to-face learning and the online learning. So who would be the best candidate? Well, students of all ages and grade levels can benefit from a blended learning environment. And ideally, the first class should be a face-to-face class. This would allow the teacher and the students to get familiar with one another and start creating connections, and that will help facilitate a successful blended learning environment. Also, assessments should be made available online as well as in a face-to-face environment. There are some people who really benefit from having that face-to-face option. And the content and discussion method should be more differentiated. You're talking about learners who really benefit from the face-to-face, but also learners who might do better online. So you want to make sure that your content is kind of reaching all of those people. And lastly, we have online learning. Well, what is this? This is where most or all of the content is delivered online. And typically there are no face-to-face meetings. And this equates to about 80% or more of your content delivered online. Some of the benefits are the convenience of it. Many of these students who take online learning may have jobs or families that would prohibit them from attending a brick and mortar school. So the convenience of doing online learning is definitely there. It also allows students to learn in different ways. And another option here is that it could reduce the classroom cost for colleges and universities. Some of the drawbacks are that students will actually miss out on the campus experiences. I know personally, having done the traditional face-to-face learning in my post-secondary experience, as well as now doing online learning, I would hate for people to miss out on the campus experience of being able to work with your classmates in a study group or to talk to your professors one-on-one. I think that's really important. Also, there is some data showing that employers prefer candidates with traditional degrees over online degrees. That could be changing since this information was from 2008, but that is something to be said about an online degree. And lastly, from a teacher standpoint, it's difficult to know if your students are engaged. Some students could be just going through the motions, but you wouldn't be able to know that because you're not seeing them in action. All right, who would benefit from online learning? Well, increasingly, there are more adult learners because they have more responsibilities that may cause them not to be able to attend a brick and mortar school. But there are definitely more students in undergraduate degrees who are enrolling as well in online learning. And you can also start to see more of online learning in K-12 schools. Instructors should definitely take into account the different learning styles of your students without being able to see them face to face. You're going to want to make sure that your activities and your lessons are kind of geared towards all the different learning styles of your potential students. And students definitely need to be self-disciplined. What about me? Well, I feel I'm currently teaching a web-facilitated course, and as I learn more and more about what online teaching and learning is, I feel I have a desire to teach more in a blended learning environment. In particular, within the rotation model of blended learning is the flipped classroom. I believe this is ideal for a world language setting where I can deliver the meat of the content, if you will, to them online and allow them to come into class where we can actually play around with the language and use it together. I'm definitely hoping to learn more about how a world language can be taught in a completely online environment, but I'm definitely skeptical on how effective that is because a specific component of the language learning is the practice of it, the speaking with one another and the impromptu conversations that will inevitably happen when you're learning the new language, and that is something that's difficult to replicate in a completely online setting. And that is the end of my presentation on the 4 models of learning, and thank you for your time.